Alright, welcome to the start of another, yes, another new interview series. You're like, wait, this is the third one you've done today. Well, that's because Air 2 just started. This is one of the bench watching ones. Yes. This one aired 2 years ago. It is called Am I Actually the Strongest? Yes. I had stumbled across this because why not? Now, for some weird reason, I'm not sure why this is. Like, trying to find who's part of the dub cast this thing is a bit toughy. So, I found a web page. It's a wiki page, but it looks like it's pretty accurate. I don't think it's inaccurate. But they haven't fully finished it yet. So, like I said, it aired 2 years ago, based on a light novel series. But actually, for the manga for this thing, I read all the volumes released before I started watching the series. Yes, indeed, I did. I read it online. So, the studio who made this one is called Staple Entertainment. And they actually have made one other series that I've actually reviewed for. A series that came out last year, believe it or not. It was actually one series that started last year. Tales of Wedding Rings. You know, a series that's been announced for season 2 after a really good season. I love the first season show. So, yeah, another one. Yep, so we start with our lead character, where he is, like, apparently he was bullied really badly, so he decided to become a shut-in and look at his phone, and then he just has a blind life from him. He gets sort of reincarnated, like it's OP, and then he gets reincarnated as a baby with a crest, with a crest on his chest, the royal crest, the royal family, and the king and queen are like, "Oh good, we got a brand new baby, so adorable. Let's check his magic level. 2. Let's deny he was born. Abandon him." That's their reasoning for this. Despite the fact that's actually not his magic level. He actually believes the whole series his magic amount is just 2. But in actuality, it's 1,002. Because the weird thing about this series is that their metric system only measures in double digits. Does not measure in 4 digits. So he's OP. So they basically abandon him in the field where he's by himself crying, and then he proceeds to and then all of a sudden believe it or not, a red wolf shows up, tries to attack him, and of course he apparently he knows barrier magic. Yes. He has no element. This is one they kept from the series. So, then of course he launches a bunch of trees at the fox. Eventually he does hears a voice, he doesn't know what it is. Eventually it turns into actually the fox is talking. And he figures how to speak in baby talk. So, he creates a barrier swirlery sound. And the voice I hear, despite the fact it's not according to the Wikipedia page, but I've read on another page, basically this is her. The baby is voiced by Sarah Weidenhoff. Hooray! Always great to hear her voice. I know her voice because I've heard a ton of anime. Believe it or not, the last anime I watched was actually last series I watched from my previous series I was watching, Jiraiya. The Unaware Altering Meister. And with hearing her voice in this very series, this makes this series the 40th anime, 40th series I have heard her in. Yes, the 40th. That is not a joke. This is 100% completely true. 40 anime. You're like, what? 40? That's a lot. Yes, which makes it tied with Brittany Kowalski, who in just the previous series I just covered her 40th anime. Oh yeah, definitely. Is there others? Well, you might find out soon about that. Yes, but I think it's fantastic the fact that I've checked out 40 series for Sarah Weidenhoff. And believe it or not, when it comes to Sarah, she is known by other voice actors. Brienne Knickerbocker, I actually showed a picture to Stephanie Young. She was not familiar with her. Sarah was. definitely. But Stephanie Young, nope, never heard her before. Sadly, but Sarah, yeah, people know who Sarah is. Sarah's awesome. I actually saw her just this year at Comic-Con. Yep. And believe it or not, the last series before Comic-Con I saw her in, I think it may have been, I may be going such about Sonic Blast Clock on time because I think I did cover the Air 3 anime. Now, one of them basically was kind of surprising she was featured in. As a matter of fact, this anime is wrapping up this coming Saturday. Black Butler. Yep, and she's done a great job voicing the Emerald Witch. I think it's awesome the fact she joined Black Butler. So, then, apparently, when he gave her a name, this somehow gives, by the way the fox is called Faye. So, he inadvertently became her master. Yes, a wolf who's a master to a baby, and he's requesting breast milk. So you have her transform into a beautiful woman, and then put a black jumpsuit on her. So, and of course then giving her breast milk from the guy who comes to be his adopted father, a guy by the name of Gold Zephyrus, who is voiced by, I'm not going to joke about this. This is actually 100% completely true. Gold is voiced by Christopher Wittkamp. Those who are not familiar with this guy, this is the voice of Racer of My Hero Academia. Yep. True. It is 100% completely true. And then, of course, we jump ahead about 9 years later. By the way, his name is Haruto. We can remember the family. He has a very cute little sister named Charlotte, who's voiced by Kate Bristol. Now, have I seen any series with Miss Kate Bristol in it? Well, for one thing, I'm older than her by 2 years. Like, 2 years exactly. And she's happily married to a guy named Whitson Knight. He's been active since 2001. As for anime she's been in, well, she was in Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball GT, One Piece. Let's see, the ones I've seen. She was in Fairy Tail, Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Demon Lord Retry, Fire Force, Spy X Family, Remonster, and I may be exceptions, but certainly Boss O'Clock at time, where she's the voice of Lily Ashford. You're thinking, who is that? Yeah, it's the it's a girl with the bubbly personality. Great character. And I really wish they would announce season 2 for this series, because the series is really good. Oh yeah, she was also Nina from the Aristocrats Outwardly Adventure. Yep, which I'm going to have the lead voice actor sign my DVD copy of it when I go to Tampa Comic Con in 3 weeks. Yep. So, Charlotte, of course, is very nervous around her brother because she doesn't know nothing about him. So she plays with Faye, and of course he just relaxes for a bit because he wants to be a shut-in. And then his father comes up from training, and then another day he comes back like, oh, a bunch of noise outside. And it turns out it's actually because his father come back from a mission to hunt for bandits, and he was attacked. So, Haruto decides to, after healing everybody with a massive healing spell, of course no one knows the fact he cast this, so he and Faye proceed to find the bandits. Took a bit of time. Of course, they left a clone behind. Yes, the clone thing is actually something that's heavily involved with the series, where the clone posted him where he basically stays in his room just relaxing. Excuse me. So, he finds their hideout and interrogates them. It's like, okay, so these guys were actual soldiers from another country, posing as bandits to basically instigate a war, but somebody helped them cross the border. They do not know who it is, so the bandits can handle the authorities, and Faye is heard of the burn the fort to the ground. Yep. And then later on, of course, Charlotte and Haruto's adoptive mother, and her name is Natila. She's voiced by Jenny Lindo. I'm not familiar with her at all. So they go out, and then they're attacked by bandits. Haruto sees this, so he goes out, and of course you have where Charlotte, being really smart for a cute little girl, has her mother run away from the bandits, go a particular direction, go off a cliff, and they have her hide in the cave. And her mother, in order to protect, basically tell her daughter she wants to commit suicide by stabbing herself in the throat. But lucky enough, Haruto comes along and takes all the bandits on their problem. And her sister somehow thinks of him as basically like a hero for justice. By the way, I almost forgot to mention this. When Faye first met Haruto's baby, she thought he was a reincarnation of Demon King. Yes, she seriously thought that. And once again, we basically think a fox woman is in fact a demon. One of like 2 series I've seen that did this. The other being, I kid you not, Joe in the world with limited G power. Somehow I think a fox girl is somehow associated with demons. Somehow. And then they come home. Gold is very happy to see his wife and daughter happily. Charlotte hugs her big brother. And everything is fine between the two of them. And that's the episode. Also, he set up an alarm for her in case because she'd been following him a lot of episode 2. Because these are actually weirdly titled episodes. Because you have starting at bottom of reincarnation, Char hates me. And the next episode is the complete opposite. Yeah. Otherwise, though, really good 2 episodes. And I can't wait to discuss the rest. And, well, save this for tomorrow. Yes. So, that is pretty much a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, more of this series. Okay, next video. Bye.